All right, all right. What's going on? Happy Tuesday, happy Tuesday, happy Tuesday. Y'all get on up in here because we got a good show today because we're doing some exposing of some bull that's happening out here. They don't want us to be together. Black love is a revolutionary act. Healthy black relationships, creating and maintaining healthy black relationships is a revolutionary act. And that's something that we have to promote within our community, right? Healthy black relationships, black love, black marriages, black people being healthy, getting together with realistic thoughts, expectations into relationships and making it happen. You know, black people getting together, making things happen. The system of white supremacy is designed to attack us in all 9 areas of human activity. We got to make sure we're continuing to fight back, doing what we need to do. Because today we're doing a little bit of exposing. Some of you might know, some of you might not know, but I've learned that there are numerous external forces, as we already knew, but a lot more things have been confirmed. There are a lot of external forces that are working, and they're working hard to keep the black man and the black woman separate, to keep the black man and the black woman fighting at each other's necks. And this, especially this online gender war that we're currently experiencing right now, this online gender war, we find out a lot of it is manufactured. A lot of this gender war is manufactured. Now, do we have problems in our community? Yes. Do we have problems with some black men? Yes. Do we have some problems with some black women? Yes. But we also know that we have these external forces working real hard to make sure that we do not be together, stay together, love each other, be healthy, raise healthy kids, build strong communities. They're working against us. And we can't work against ourselves either, right? We have to understand what's going on, understand your enemy, understand how your enemy works, you know. And once you get that information, apply it to our lives, making sure that we're doing what we need to do to make sure that we have real, healthy, functioning families. Transition from survival units, as Dr. Francis Cress Wilson say, we have survival units. So graduating from survival units to healthy black families and making healthy black love something that we promote on a regular basis. Because if you think about it, right? Think about it. Especially when we were growing up, but now as well, a lot of our favorite songs, I've said this before, a lot of our favorite songs, favorite movies, a lot of the relationships that we even witnessed in our lives, it was unhealthy stuff. I remember I was in the house one day and I was singing that Maxwell Pretty Wings. I can't sing good, but I was singing and I was hitting high notes and everything, trying to hit high notes. Then I realized the lyrics. I'm like, damn, it's a breakup song. You know, a lot of our favorite songs is about love not lasting. Like I was watching some Black people Christmas movies earlier today, and one common thing that I saw in these movies was there has to be some kind of turmoil. There has to be some kind of chaos. Like black love can't be something that we promote. It always has to be the turmoil that's promoted. It's always the turmoil that attracts the people, that people want to see, that people want to gravitate to, the turmoil. And it's like we got to understand what's going on around us. Understand the system. The forces are working against us overtime to make sure we don't get together. Remember, we came up in a time where our ancestors was willing to die. They were willing to die to make sure that they create families, that they can have families, that they can be with one another. Now, it's almost like we would rather die than be together. We got to get together. But that's what we're getting into, exposing this bull, because a lot of these gender wars, a lot of the stuff that's going on is manufactured, and it's manufactured like a mug out here, right? They don't want us together, but we have to want to be together. So we're going to learn, expose, and apply. Chosen Sigma, what's going on? How you doing? How you doing? Thank you for being here. Thank everybody for being here. Please hit that like button, comment, subscribe, share. If this is your first time, this is On the Shoulders of Giants. I am Joseph Ward, and I take you on the journey every Tuesday and Saturday on these lives to make sure that we can learn as much as we can to help change our situation. The goal is to replace the system of white supremacy with justice, with the system of justice. But we have to get our stuff together, right? As Black people, we got to get our stuff together. And the way to get our community together is to get our families together. We have to heal ourselves so we can have healthy, functioning families, have healthy, functioning children who can grow up and have healthy, functioning families. Black love is great, it's beautiful, and it's a revolutionary act, and we got to have it and stand on it. So manufacture program all day, every day. Understand what's happening to us, right? They use DNA hacking, nanotech in the I got to learn more about that. I don't know about that, so I got to learn more about that. But Denise, how you doing? How you doing? We were stronger together, and they know it. You right. You right. That's why they are working so hard to make sure that we aren't working together effectively. Exactly, Denise. Exactly. Thank you for your comment. Thank you for being here. Renee, how you doing? Good evening, my sister. How you doing? Happy Tuesday. Yes, we up in here. You already know it. Black love is a beautiful thing. We promote it over here. We call out the bull on both sides, but at the end of the day, we need each other. I don't care what none of these other folk out here talking about. Black men need black women, and black women need black men. We're the only ones that got each other back. There are no other people, no other systems, no nothing that got our back. If we ain't got each other back, we ain't talking about nothing. And we got to get right. Thank you for being here, Miss Linda Jones. Thank you. My man DSB, how you doing, my brother? How you doing? Yes. Shalom to the chat. Everybody, thank y'all for being here. We getting it in today. Said Frankism into anywhere involving us to try to lead us. Yep, you know it. We got to get it together. And that's why I have this platform to be a part of us getting it together. I'm not saying I have all the answers. There's a lot of stuff I don't know. I'm gonna be the dude that tell you I don't know it all. I don't have all the answers. But what I do know is we got to figure it out. And I just want to be a part of us figuring it out. So we need each other. We need to love each other. And we got. So let's make sure we get on the good foot, do our best to be our best, especially when we're relating with each other in romantic settings. The compensatory code, man. Neely Fuller laid out a lot of stuff that we could use and improve our situation. And Neely Fuller gonna be a part of the show as well, because first video is a young man exposing the new Twitter updates that give the locations of a lot of these fake accounts that's pushing this gender war stuff. Then we're getting into Neely Fuller giving us some information about the system of white supremacy and why it works so hard against the black family. Then I found the video from the sister, the Crimson Cure, who has some more information about these fake accounts that's pushing this gender war. And then I'm getting to revisit that, what they call the KK Keisha video, and kind of speculate, is this some of this manufactured stuff, or is this the result of the manufactured stuff? So we're gonna get into it. We're gonna always try to tell the truth and do what we got to do to learn. So Frankism, but we continue to build and support each other regardless. It's not working, and they know the agents of chaos. You already know, but that's why we got to continue to fight against it. Our ancestors continued to fight. I appreciate you as well, Renee. You already know I appreciate you. Our ancestors fought hard. We can't be soft. We got to fight. We got to fight for our future. We got to fight for our livelihood. We got to fight for our sovereignty. We got to fight for our humanity. We can't be soft. It's not a time to be soft. We got to be our best. Waking up every day, looking to be the best black people that we can be. That's how we get to a point where we can pour into each other when we're relating with each other on the romantic tip, pouring into each other instead of tearing each other down and tearing each other apart. So let's go ahead and get this thing kicked off the right way. Please hit that like button, comment, subscribe, share. This is On the Shoulders of Giants. I am your host, Joseph Ward, and we about to get it all the way in. So first video, like I say, this is the young man that I found on Instagram. So listen to what he has to say.
This past week, the new Twitter update dropped, and shout out to Elon. He might have did his big one, because now Twitter is showing account locations, and many of the black pages on Twitter that spread anti-black rhetoric and contribute to gender wars are being exposed for being based in India and East and South Asia. Accounts that got exposed are MAGA accounts, so-called American political accounts, large hip-hop pages, fake black American accounts, catfish influencers, and various bot accounts. And these pages weren't just trolling for fun. They were leading narratives, creating fake diaspora beefs, starting gender wars, pitting black women versus black men, spreading stereotypes, and launching misinformation. And the thing is, people have been calling it out for a minute now, but it's cold hard facts now. They're literally weaponizing blackness, pretending to be black Americans, grifting inside the culture, and rage baiting their way into US politics from countries they're not even from. This update might be the best thing to happen on Twitter since Elon acquired it. Someone said black oppression is a global operation. And boy, is that true. We're in an era of digital blackface. And the most interesting thing I find about this whole situation is that they have to put black people at the center of their chaos because they know that's the only way they'll get engagement. Why is that?
Well, because we make everything pop, for one, but black oppression is a global business. I like that line. Think about that. Let that marinate in your head real quick. Let that marinate in your spirit. Black oppression is a global business. So we ain't really got time to be fighting ourselves, because we got to fight the real enemy. You know what I'm saying? But I always wondered about a lot of these accounts that were on social media, especially the ones that didn't have no face, or even some ones that may have had faces or whatever. I don't know, but I always wondered about a lot of these accounts, a lot of information that was being pushed, because I saw a real shift in the rhetoric as far as how black men and black women talk to each other and about each other on social media. It was a real shift to a lot of negativity, and it was just like, dang, who's really behind this now? Granted, we do know that there's a number of black people who actually is they crazy as hell, and they push the negative narratives willingly. They're about selling out their community and making sure that the chaos continues willingly. But then some of it, I was like, I don't know. But now that all makes sense. And now I know I shared this in the group chat with me, Pat, and PC. And Pat was like, man, they had a study about this a while ago, and I've been looking for that study. But man, that's crazy. That's crazy. What's going on, Truth Hurts? How you doing? How you doing? What's going on, my man O'Neal? How you doing? So let me play it one more time. Let me play this video one more time so we can make sure we get the full breadth of what's being said. Let me play it one more time. Uh-oh. I ain't mean to do that. All right, here we go.
This past week, the new Twitter update dropped, and shout out to Elon. He might have did his big one, because now Twitter is showing account locations, and many of the black pages on Twitter that spread anti-black rhetoric and contribute to gender wars are being exposed for being based in India and East and South Asia. Accounts that got exposed are MAGA accounts, so-called American political accounts, large hip-hop pages, fake black American accounts, catfish influencers, and various bot accounts. And these pages weren't just trolling for fun. They were leading narratives, creating fake diaspora beefs, starting gender wars, pitting black women versus black men, spreading stereotypes, and launching misinformation. And the thing is, people have been calling it out for a minute now, but it's cold hard facts now. They're literally weaponizing blackness, pretending to be black Americans, grifting inside the culture, and rage baiting their way into US politics from countries they're not even from. This update might be the best thing to happen on Twitter since Elon acquired it. Someone said black oppression is a global operation. And boy, is that true. We're in an era of digital blackface. And the most interesting thing I find about this whole situation is that they have to put black people at the center of their chaos because they know that's the only way they'll get engagement. Why is that?
Keep us fighting. They got to keep us fighting. They have to keep us fighting. They have to keep us going at each other's neck, talking about each other, being steeped in negativity towards each other. hating each other, like really going to the point of hating each other. Because if we're concentrating on fighting each other, guess who we're not concentrating on fighting? And guess who is constantly waging war against us? Constantly waging war against us, right? So we have to understand that. So let me read you something, right? And I got my notes and stuff together for this because I want to make sure we come correct. So this is all in the framework of Neely Fuller Jr. as well, and his philosophies on why the system of white supremacy is constantly at war against black people, but also at war against the black family. So Neely Fuller Jr. in his foundational work on racism frames racism not as individual prejudice or occasional bias, but as a system of oppression that is built into every major institution, narrative, and practice of society, including media, culture, economy, family structures, legal systems, and social relationships. His core idea is racism is not about people. Racism is about a system. Once again, racism is not about people. Racism is about a system. And that goes into, if you don't understand white supremacy, what it is and how it works, everything else you understand will only confuse you, right? And so it's really taking that look at the system of white supremacy, really understanding the systematic approach that they take, right? Remember the 9 areas of human activity that he says they're waging war against us: economics, education, entertainment, labor, law, politics, war, sex, and religion. And this subject can be placed in the categories of politics and sex. You know, Neely Fuller classifies politics as human interactions, and sex speaks for itself because it's one of the acts that goes into the relationships, right? So under this framework, black love and black families are not merely personal or isolated emotional units. They exist within a system that continuously undermines and devalues black life and family cohesion. I'm gonna read that again. It's a system that continuously undermines and devalues black life and family cohesion. Fuller's point is that the system of white supremacy strategizes to break, distort, or diminish black relationships because of a strong black family unit threatens the logic and power of the oppressive system. Think about that, right? They're trying to minimize anything that would challenge the system of white supremacy, that would be a threat. He said these bad actors love to hate to love us. They're jealous. You know it, Miss Linda Jones, you know it. They are jealous of us and everything that we can bring to the table. But you got to remember the mindset of them, right? And the video I put out today, my 1 o'clock video today, a continuation of Dr. Marimba Ani's Urugu lecture. Understanding Urugu helps us understand the nature of the white supremacists. This is how they behave. They are people who behave in unnatural ways, especially when it comes to violence, but just in unnatural ways. So violence is part of their nature. Domination, control, destruction is a part of their nature. And they want to be able to control the globe. And we would be standing in their way if we actually get our stuff together. If black unity on a large scale actually happens, we would be in their way. Because, you know, unity happens. It just happens on small scales or in unconstructive realms, but it happens. But no real true unity that can lead to something that can change for us, right? So think about or listen to this. Actually, let me play this Neely Fuller video first and then come back to some of the notes. Then we can move forward with this. But y'all, please, if you're enjoying this information, if you're enjoying what I'm saying, remember reinforcing that black love is a revolutionary act. If you believe that, you're down with it, please hit that like button. Please hit that like button, comment, subscribe, share, all that. Hit the hype button, everything. Let's get this information out. YouTube be hating, YouTube be shadow banning. So please help me get this information out further and further and further. Please hit that like button. Okay, let me share my screen, get to this. And this is Neely Fuller through the Hip Hop Cartoons YouTube channel. So shout out to Hip Hop Cartoons. You know, a big thank you to Neely Fuller and everybody on his team. So all right, so one time for Mr. Clarence Mayo. So let's listen to what Neely Fuller got to say about their attacks on the black family.
Spell it one more time for me.
Listen.
Word L-I-K-E?
Yes, sir.
Absolutely not. If we waited on that, we'd be waiting forever. Because the system is not even designed to have black people like each other. Not to say anything about love. You hear a lot of stuff about black love and whatnot. That's non-existent. You can't have love in the system of white supremacy. That doesn't compute at all. So you have to get the mechanics down. And then you have set the seeds, you have planted the seeds where you can get this liking and this love. You're not going to get it in the system of white supremacy. The system of white supremacy is designed for hostility. And we have all been poisoned by that. So that clears up that mystery, I think. And that is, no, I mean, no, you are supposed to be able to function with people that you don't care about emotionally at all. Because this thing about having it already in existence, talking about, you hear black people sometimes say something that's absolutely false, and that is talking about this black love that exists. You can't have love in the system of white supremacy. Why? Because what does the word love mean? See, we toss that word around loosely, very loose. So it's meaningless. It means absolutely nothing. It's non-existent. But what is it in essence about what it should be? The word love, and I have this in the word guide, and the word justice are one and the same. You cannot have one without the other. So since you can't have justice, going by the computer now, going by logic, you can't have justice and white supremacy in the same universe at the same time. Therefore, you can't have love either, since love and justice are one and the same. And what is justice? Guaranteeing that no person is mistreated, and guaranteeing that the person that needs help the most gets the most constructive help. Now, no black person can guarantee that. That's something.
So that is, you know, Neely Fuller giving this breakdown on their attack on the black family. Love, black love. How you gonna have love when the system is designed for us to not even like each other? What's going on, my brother Nemesis X in the building? Yeah, shout out to Hip Hop Cartoons. I actually that's one of the ways I confirmed that I was being shadow banned, because I've been checking out Hip Hop Cartoons for a while, and I saw his views have decreased, and I'm like, that brother keep putting out heat. Why is his videos like that? But it's like, we all being shadow banned out here who telling the truth. So please go support Hip Hop Cartoons. Please go to this channel, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and check out all his content. So but yeah, it's like the overall attack, like we're not supposed to even like each other. So anything that we do constructive with each other is revolutionary. We're not even supposed to look at each other in a healthy manner. What's going on, Marcellus? How you doing? We're not even supposed to get along. Like when you see black dysfunction, that is supposed to be the norm. Like black dysfunction is supposed to be what they construct us to be, and how we're supposed to behave on a regular basis. Like just out here all crazy, just arrested development everywhere, debauchery everywhere, like just backward movement everywhere, just tearing each other down in any and every way, tearing ourselves down. We're supposed to exist with vacant esteem. So think about yourself and others, black people who are healthy as you can be, I would say, because I think we all got a little crazy in the under this system of white supremacy. But you're as healthy as you can be, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally. You're an adult. You behave well, and you go out and you be a productive citizen. That is what we are supposed to be working toward on a regular basis as individuals and as a group. Understanding that the forces are working against us. Understanding that we were programmed to be destructive. The nigga, we were all programmed to be niggas, and the nigga is designed to be a destructive being to himself and everything around. Think about that, right? Said it is important to note that what Elder Amos Wilson said about this type of stuff, especially the fact that not all love is good love. Far too much lust for black men and women, not love and commitment. You're right. You're right. But that comes from a lot of the unhealthiness that we've learned, and a lot of the trauma and the miseducation and all the things that we have learned and just internalized over the years as growing up, you know. Monochromatic blues. How you doing? So let me read some more. It says how the system of white supremacy acts on black relationships, right? And one of the first key ways that the system of white supremacy acts on black relationships is institutional stressors. And some of the main institutional stressors that's being named is mass incarceration, economic inequality, and discriminatory policing. It separates black spouses, partners, and family networks, right? Desperate access to jobs, housing, healthcare, and childcare places constant pressure on relationships and family stability. All of the ills and the pressures of life, and then being piled on by the system of white supremacy and everything that it brings. Us not being in control of the job market, us not being in control of most of the systems that control our lives. Those systems are controlled by our oppressors. So therefore, we are at a disadvantage when they don't want to make sure that we can advance ourselves within their systems. Because at the end of the day, it's their system. So they have the choice of whether they want us to advance or not. Until we begin to build and protect, we will be subject to their systems. We have to build and protect. We have to learn to truly love again. We got to learn to like each other again. We got to learn to like ourselves and love ourselves again. We got a lot of work to do. It says the colonization, appropriation, and subsequent death of hip hop should help in this regard. I think we're trending up. I hope we're trending up. We need to trend up. But we need to trend up in real life, right? But also understanding the power of social media, having a change in social media. I've been seeing a lot of videos of black people pushing back against the negative stereotypes. I like that. We need more. We need more black people, especially influential black people in these spaces, pushing back and fighting against the narrative. I mean, the negative stereotypes and the negative narratives, and countering those with like great stories and great narratives, real narratives, positive narratives, true narratives about the great things that are going on with black people. Do we have issues? Yeah, but we can fight back though. We can change that. The second key point is like social narratives and cultural programming, another key thing that goes into dismantling the black family, right? White supremacist narratives frame black relationships, especially black male and female relationships, through stereotypes of dysfunction or pathology. These narratives are repeated in media, popular culture, and public commentary, creating external pressures and internalized beliefs that strain interpersonal trust and intimacy. We're being programmed to hate each other. We're being programmed to not like each other. We're being programmed to see each other as the enemy. And we're taking it in. What Nas said, 2 teaspoons for goons, a cup of it for those thugging it. They spoon feeding us the negativity. They spoon feeding us the self-hatred. They spoon feeding us the hatred for our fellow men and our fellow women. We're being spoon fed that stuff. And we keep taking it in. Now we have a whole generation that grew up in front of screens. Like, it was bad enough my generation, the generation before me, you know, we grew up in front of the TV, but now they grew up in front of these screens that's like right here. Like you 2 years old and you know how to work a phone. It's like they just been, a lot of these kids just been stuck in front of screens their whole life and haven't touched real grass or don't know anything about real life, but also the negativity around them. Learning more about adverse childhood experiences. We're having a lot of people who are adults now who have unresolved adverse childhood experiences, and those adverse childhood experiences came because they grew up in households with dysfunction. But that is supposed to be the norm according to the system of white supremacy. That is supposed to be the norm. That's crazy as hell. But it makes sense because they want us to destroy ourselves. If you think about it, they want us to destroy ourselves. They want us to not be a challenge to them. So these narratives are repeated. Oh, I read that. Creating external, I read that. So here's some structural devaluation of Black love. This is another key point that goes into breaking up the Black families. Policies and cultural practices that were not designed with Black families in line. Policies and cultural practices that were not designed with Black families in mind. And examples are welfare rules, penalizing two-parent households, housing discrimination, educational segregation. These create incentives that undermine family stability, not because individuals don't love more than others, but because these systems make it harder for Black families to thrive socially and economically. Fuller will argue that the violence done to Black relationships is a byproduct of the system's overall design, not simply individual choices or failures. It's by design of the system of white supremacy to maintain its place, to maintain its power. So said nah, homie, everybody targeting us. Most of us trying. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Everybody, we are under attack. We know. Luke Mon, what's going on, my brother? How you doing? How you doing? Mind our business. God bless. So you think we be deprogramming by now, but white supremacy always has a plan. We have to take more control. You're already right. White supremacy is behind the gender war in Black communities. Yes. I believe it's a main culprit in it, and we picked the ball up and ran with it. Soldier Boy said the Caucasian community has become the boogeyman, even though both races only see each maybe in line at Starbucks. Okay, but that's why we're talking about it from a systematic approach. That's why we're talking about it from a systematic, not an individual approach, from a systematic approach. Finding the system isn't stopping Black men from being with B. What that mean? Just me being with B. Said it's not easy, but health comes from appreciating self and your own people. Focus on that and let the love come later. Yeah, we got to improve. We got to improve. So it's not the individuals choose his mate. Black men do not choose Black women collectively. You saying black men don't choose Black women? Majority of Black men are married to Black women. Majority of Black men who are married to Black women. Like Black men choose Black women. Most Black people choose each other. Most Black people choose each other. It's just when we get together, it's not a healthy function. It doesn't function in a healthy manner, rather. So, but most Black people get together. Now, those numbers are starting to dwindle as time goes. You do have a rise in interracial relationships, more so on the male side than the female side, but we do have a rise in interracial relationships. But most Black people are with Black people. Most Black men are choosing Black women. So, the statistics prove that most Black men choose Black women. Most people, whatever race you are, the majority of people choose their own race. Says every trap they set for us, they fall into as well. That's all. They copy everything we do. Right? White supremacy is the culprit in all of our affairs. So it's not really. I'm in Cali. Black men don't. I mean, but you got to remember, Black men in Cali don't represent all Black men in the United States. So that's why we go to look at statistics that can look at a greater number of Black people. Cali is different. You on the other side. Most Black people don't even live in Cali. Most Black people live here on the East Coast. So it's a total different picture over here. I get what you're saying from where you from. Maybe not a lot of black men where you from, but overall, most black men in the United States, the majority of black men, last I looked, 78% of black men in the United States marry black women. 78% of black men in the United States marry black women. So if you were to ask interracial couples who initiated that relationship, the majority of the time is the white. Yeah. Who talks about that? I think Dr. Chris Wilson and somebody else. I was looking at something the other day, a video when it's talking about how the white women initiate. I think it was Amos Wilson as well, but they was talking about how the white women usually initiate those relationships. So I did see that. So let me get to this this video by the Crimson Cure. She had she was on the same wavelength as me, exposing all the fake pages and everybody who out here pushing the gender war stuff and trying to keep black people divided. It says, has anyone ever Googled people with tails? Some of our men and women took hold of the gender war game and refused to let it go. Yeah. That's that, and that's a sad truth. Knowledge is important for those who take heed. Thank you. Now, thank you, Zach. Thank you. Now, you're right. And we do have to acknowledge that. Yes, we know white supremacy is the root of this, but there's a good number of our people who took it and ran with it. So we have to abandon the single parent income home and increase you're right. We need to be together. We need each other. We need each other for survival, to thrive. We need each other. It has to be said that divorce culture is still a negative issue. Right. You're right. And here you have to look at the systematic and racial issues here, even though the rates are going down, it's still roughly 33%. Right. Now, you're right, because it has to be step by step, and it has to be a practical change. It has to be realistic and practical. Now, we can say what we want. We can talk idealistically all day, but practically, what do we need to do? What are the real world steps that we need to take to make these changes? These folks over there get 25% of every dollar we make who change their name to integrate, control all social media, colonize everything. Right. Mixture has always happened. Yep. Yeah, it has. But majority of people marry their people. So shots fired, by the way. It was 62% in Florida last year. Hey, man. Hey, look. I know we crazy. We know we crazy. We wake up trying to be crazy down here in Florida. Say, the big content creator asked black men, what do black men do to prove their love for black women? Nobody answered. Say, what do black men do to prove they love the black women? And they say, nobody answered. What was that? Say, nobody answered. So, I don't know who they. I got to see that, because who was they asking? Were they asking like people in healthy relationships? But let's check this video out from the Crimson Cure. Shout out to the Crimson Cure. Make sure you support her as well. She's talking about, the name of this is The Black Gender War is a Social Media Psyop. And she found more videos of this, what we're going to call it now, the social media psyop now. He said people create new tribes or people who look like different folks across the globe more often than folks know. You said that was 2018 on this platform. Well, show me you said somebody on this platform. Somebody asked us. Oh, we was looking at a video. And show me that. But let's get into it. It says, audio, my brother's been a few. What's going on? Love should be pure, not get kept by the community. We got to learn, but we have to learn. We have to learn how to love. We've always had survival units. We have to learn how to love. Nobody answered Google that people with tails. I've seen some of that before. What's going on? Crypto Almighty, what's going on? So let me get to this video and I'm gonna get back to some of them comments.
can know what I'm talking about. Uh-oh. Let's do this one first.
To the other accounts that basically took this salacious commentary and ran with it.
Hiding behind names like Black Tea or Urban Gossip, posing as insiders from our community.
Mm-hmm.
I got you, Crypto. I got you.
But exposure changes everything. Look at how this group of channels, owned and operated by the same person, amplified Willie Laney's lies. These videos didn't appear randomly. They were released in sequence. Look at the pattern and malicious intent by which they operated. This is coordinated amplification, and their goal is always one thing: make the lie go viral. Get people to start writing the celebrity, get their attention, get them to respond and feed the algorithm. Once they pull you into it, they profit from the chaos. Then there are the accounts that we are not in settlement talks with, and they are named in our lawsuit. Here they are. Nazir Rao claims to be based in the U.S., runs the channel Star News, targets Black U.S. celebs and public figures with misinformation. He's actually based in Pakistan. Dinar Minglalamov runs the channel Black Tea, claims to be based in the United States, targets Black celebs and public figures with denigrating content. He's based in Russia. Kunjamal Jayan, official Vault Videos, claims to be based in the United States, targets Black public figures and celebs with defamatory content. He's based in India. Imran Igra runs the channel Celeb News, claims to be based in the United States, targets Black celebrities with misinformation and also Black public figures. He is actually based in Pakistan. Muhammad Shabazz Haider runs the channel Celebrity Star Talks, claims to be based in the United States, a gossip channel with negative content about U.S. Black celebrities. Muhammad is based in Pakistan. Sunny Duvall claims to be based in the United States, runs the channel Mukam Music, targets Black celebrities with negative commentary, actually based in Pakistan. Muhammad Islam runs the channel We Got Celeb, claims to be based in the United States, targets Black public figures and celebs with negative and denigrating content. Muhammad is actually based in Pakistan. We look into the other accounts that basically took this salacious commentary and ran with it.
Hiding behind names like Black Tea or Urban Gossip, posing as insiders from our community.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's just one.
So pause that right there for right now. We're gonna come back to her, but just another video to show how it's been exposed, what's happening as far as pushing these narratives. Right, pushing the narratives, making sure that Black family don't happen. Make sure healthy Black families, healthy Black love, healthy Black relationships don't happen. Right. Told y'all about the social engineering. We talk about the social engineering all the time. That's why we do. I like that we do a lot of the reading. Y'all like to choose the books, about Black psychology, and we love a lot. We learn a lot about how they are constantly engineering society with the messaging and the pictures and all the imaging, how you normally shape societies. And of course, with us, they want to keep us where we are. They want to keep us at an oppressed state, at a suppressed state. They want to make sure, matter of fact, if they can make us any lower, they will. But we have to see what's going on. We have to fight back and understand, and then teach that. Because it's one thing to just collect the information and we just talk about it, but what do we do on a regular basis to combat it? What are you doing in your everyday life to combat what's going on, as far as making yourself better and making sure that you put yourself around other people who are constantly making themselves better? So, we have an uphill battle. We never learned how to love each other in a healthy manner here in America. because it's all, our family have always been under attack. It's always been under attack. And remember, we were forced together. We were forced to be together, and then we were always under attack. So it's never been in a healthy manner. So let me read this to you about structural devaluation of Black love in the framework of Neely Fuller, right? It says, policies and cultural practices that were not designed. Oh, all right. So I ain't read this. So policies and cultural practices that were not designed with Black families in mind. I did read this. My bad. It says, my bad. So let me go to the next part. Why Black love struggles within a racist system. Let me get to that. So the first key point of why Black love struggles within a racist system is white supremacy assigns value based on proximity to whiteness. White supremacy assigns value based on proximity to whiteness. Black cultural expressions, including love, are distorted or dismissed, weakening collective belief that Black love is sacred and deserved, because it's not something that's beneficial to the system of white supremacy. They will not endorse or get behind or push anything that is not beneficial to the system of white supremacy. We need to understand that. So the second is economic and legal pressures make relationship stability difficult. Economic exploitation, unemployment disparity, housing instability, and legal barriers all function to stress Black partnerships disproportionately. Living in poverty is a strain on the relationship. Constant attacks, economic attacks, family attacks, all these attacks, they're strain on relationships. It makes me think about the conversation rather between Nikki Giovanni and James Baldwin, and the crux of the conversation and the details of it. So Black man and Black woman see each other in contentious ways. Like it's never on a healthy level. Remember, we were forced to be together first because white folk needed to breed more slaves. So they forced us together. And then when we got together, they was like, hey man, we got to make sure that this union is always something wrong with this union. It's always got to be something wrong with this union. So here we go. Next, one of the other reasons why Black love struggle under system white supremacy is cultural stereotypes and media misinformation, getting to what we're talking about now, reinforced internalized doubt. Externally produced narratives about Black relationships, often amplified through media, movies, and now social media platforms, can infiltrate and shape how Black people see themselves and each other. Right? And so it gets back, I see the comment up here, you're saying, somebody saying they don't think Black men like Black women. And I'm not gonna argue with you, but I see Black love all day, every day. I don't see it as much as I want to see it, and I don't see it as much as I used to see it, but I do see Black love all day, every day. Healthy Black relationships, or as healthy as they can be, I'm gonna start saying it like that. As healthy as they can be, Black relationships do exist. Black people do get together. There are a lot of competent Black people out here, Black men out here choosing Black women and loving on Black women. I see it all the time. So that's why, I do my best to promote those positive messages over here. Are we going to talk about what's going on and what's wrong with it? Yes, but in a manner that we can fix our problems. So let's get back to the Crimson Cure. Please hit that like button. Please hit that like button. I'll make sure we good in the comments. I saw suggesting no name calling. What's going on? What's the code? How you doing? Thank you for being here. For God, thank God it's over. How you doing? FM, my man FM is in the building. Says Brian Jefferson is in the building. Thank you y'all for being up in here. L God's Messenger, thank you for being up in here. Zachary the Messenger, Just Me, everybody, Marcellus, seriously, thank y'all. Let's get into more of this Crimson Cure. Please hit that like button.
So, as it's being exposed that these accounts on these social media platforms, the people who, or the organizations, I'm saying that these are intelligence organizations, because them people over in them other countries, as an individual they don't get nothing out of that. They wouldn't know to do that. But if you have intelligence agencies speaking and communicating to one another and say, you know what, y'all handle this part of it. You know, you know what I'm saying, the CIA and all the alphabet crew talk to these other intelligence agencies across seas and in other countries, things of that nature. And, you know, they discuss propaganda, they discuss methodology in order to, you know, promote certain things. They already see how the conversation is going in Black America, but they also saw that it might have come to a solution. If we were allowed to continue to speak to each other without interference, we would have come to a solution by now, one way or the other. Whatever we was gonna say, whether we was gonna say we not gonna have nothing to do with each other, or we was gonna say no, as Black people, we really need to get it together and things of that nature. Let's try to come together. Let's try to.
And think about what she's saying about the constant interference. Think about constant interference from a historical perspective, not just from a right now perspective, but from a historical perspective. The Black family has always been under attack by the system, not individuals, by the system of white supremacy.
Come and meet each other in the middle so that we can actually get things back on track. It was always a possibility that we would get things back on track. So they began to do what they always do with the Black community, is meddle with us, come and run interference with us in a covert way so that we will not be able to detect that interference is being ran until way after the fact.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Now people will say 44. Now people will say, to your point. So now the real question is, if Black Americans are nothing, why focus on us? To your point.
You're right.
People
Renee.
will get on here and say, Black people will get on here and say that white supremacy and the power structure and all of these different things are no longer there. It no longer matters. It doesn't really exist. It's not hindering nobody. If Black people are at the bottom and we are nothing, and it doesn't matter what we do one way or the other, why meddle? If us getting ourselves together as a family and eventually coming back together as a community and eventually building a stronger bond with one another as a community in this country, if that's not a threat, if it don't bother nobody one way or another, if ain't nobody worried about it, then what you worried about it for?
Here's a hot take. If you have a message inside you that people are meant to hear, it'll never make the impact that it truly deserves.
Leave us be. If we are the trash that you say we are, if Black people are the nothing and the trash and the degenerates that the society say that we are, then let us be trash and degenerates on our own. Don't interfere what one of the laws of power say. Ain't that one of the laws of power? Don't interrupt your enemy when they making a mistake. Don't interrupt.
And remember, the majority of Black men choose Black women, and the majority of Black women choose Black men. Remember that. The majority of Black men choose Black women. The majority of Black men choose Black women, but the constant warring on us has us constantly warring against each other. And so we are going to have some people who buy into the system of white supremacy, uphold it and support it, whether consciously or unconsciously. But we're always going to have some casualties. But it ain't. I think we have more people who can get on the good foot than not. And maybe I could be wrong. Maybe I'm just being hopeful. But just putting that out there. Thank you, Zachary.
If we trash and we don't know nothing and we're not doing anything and we're broke and we, you know what I'm saying, our families and
I believe that
and
our
things like that is just so broken. We don't got no culture. We not no good. then let us be not no good over here in the corner. You ain't got to worry about it. So what you worried about it for? Why spend even the time and the money to outsource your meddling with the Black community and a conversation that we are having? Let's move on.
Nah, powerful comment, Nemesis. Powerful comment. Look, racism is a team sport. It's a team sport. Nobody, no other group of people. So much for the BIPOC stuff, right? Because a lot of this is exposing people from other countries who are fueling the gender war and fueling the diaspora war. So much for the BIPOC stuff, right? Racism is a team sport. No other team wants us to win. We have to want us to win. Great comment, Nemesis. Appreciate that. Get a star.
To the next one.
Make my screen all the way.
It says many Black pages on Twitter that spread anti-Black men's beliefs and start arguments are being exposed as people from East and South Asia and India. The account below, for example, is well known for starting gender wars between Black people online by pretending to be an American Black woman. Twitter has a new feature that allows you to see people's locations. Okay. And this right here is an example of some of the things. She needs a nice, handsome, exotic man, not a ninja. So just, you know what I'm saying? The Black Barbie doll or whatever, the only Black Barbie or Black Barbies. This account is based in East Asia and the Pacific. This is not a Black woman's account, although it is posing as a Black woman's account in order to post inflammatory things. That unfortunately the types of posts they make are too racist, insulting, and actually post on this platform. Okay.
When the doors closed last time, people went nuts. By popular demand, we are opening the...
Please do not believe that it's one or two or only the accounts that have been shown.
Straight up.
Because I'm starting to believe that a lot of this stuff is a psyop as well on all of these different platforms, not just these specific ones that are being talked about, but just about all of them. If they too inflammatory, and we're going to talk about why.
Hey, I feel you, Brian. Because a lot of it is coming from outside the U.S., but that doesn't mean that a lot of these white supremacists aren't behind it. And that's one of the things that is part of this as well is they may not be the ones who actually doing it, but that don't mean they ain't behind it. So you said, Jasmine, you saying what are Black men going to do to counter the system of white supremacy? I don't know. You tell us. Because one of the things that Black men can do is become better Black men, build healthy families, raise healthy children, have healthy relationships with Black women, build healthy communities, build healthy neighborhoods, build a healthy nation to be able to contend, become powerful, become better. What do you suggest, Jasmine? What do you suggest that we do? What do you suggest Black men do? Because I want to see what you think too. I just gave my answer. So what do you suggest?
It's so inflammatory because we're going to get into the real issue. But what we're going to do right now is go to a commercial break. So after these messages, we'll be right back. I need everybody to go to ashkicking.com. The link is where it was coming from Russia and all of these other things.
That's another one she had.
I'm urging people to be more aware.
She had another one.
High at this point.
Yeah.
Even when we looking at people talk in real time, it's at an all-time high at this point. the level of disinformation is out of control. Let me show you something, because anytime y'all make me agree with Stacey Abrams, I get mad. I'm about to show y'all something real quick, because don't make me do that. Why would you make me why would these people make me agree with Stacey Abrams? Why? I'm gonna share something with y'all real quick. Now, this was that Madame Noir, another disinformation. Madame Noir is a disinformation feminist publication, and they always be doing feminist stuff for black feminism. And this little L'Oreal girl, you know, she's a regular host on that channel and on these little podcasts. And it's like, look at this.
To bring up, and to me, I feel like this is something not to point fingers or to blame, because I feel like when you divide, obviously that's when you conquer, right? But a big part of the people that I know was not going for Kamala. Let's just talk about that whole situation. It wasn't us. It wasn't the Black women that wasn't going out and voting. Honestly, I spoke to a lot of Black men, and they were not going out to vote.
Statistics tell us that most Black men that voted did vote for Kamala.
Exactly. Well, I'm talking about people like now on radio. I have a lot of people that call in, and they made it very, very clear that they were never going to vote.
So your information is more credible than the actual statistics of the polls that came out. So you take a small percentage of men that called into your radio show, and you take that a whole bunch of Black men. See, that be the problem right there. But I'm glad Stacey Abrams is pushing back, and the other young ladies pushing back on this stuff.
For Kamala ever is what they said. They said they'd take anyone over her.
So I will say this. So having experienced this myself, I can speak from a place of both power and information. Okay. Sexism is absolutely real in every community. Racism is absolutely real. But let's look at the data. And what the data says is that Black men support Black women. Black women support Black women the most. Yeah. But the next highest support system, Black men. Now, a lot of folks who call in to tell you what they are going to do weren't planning to do anything anyway.
They didn't vote at all.
And so we need to remember that disinformation often comes by planting people in our communities to fracture our belief systems.
There you go.
Black men voted for me at the same rate they voted for Raphael Warnock. But if you heard the news, Black men couldn't stand me, and that is designed to fracture our communities. I think it is so important that you raise that, because one of the misinformation points is that they leverage our inherent mistrust of systems to convince us that we don't have the support that we need.
That's right.
My responsibility is to never let them tell me that my brothers don't love me as much as my sisters.
Amen. That's right.
But the other reality is that when they do those exit polls, you gotta remember, we are 13% of the population. How exactly are you finding a representative sample when you're only talking to one or two people in every state? They then extrapolate from that in ways that shape narratives but defy math.
That's right.
And so we can't let them tell us who we are. But my point is,
it's so easy to become a podcaster with Riverside. First, go to Riverside and open an account.
I do want to bring up.
So I want you all to see that as well. So what I got from Crimson Q's channel. And shout out to Stacey Abrams for the pushback. Shutting down that false narrative. I don't know if the young lady is very fair skinned or she's white with that had the yellow hair, whatever color hair she had, but shout out to them for pushing back, because it's like on one side you got the narrative being pushed that Black men don't like Black women, Black men are inadequate, all these things here, and on the other side Black women don't like Black men and Black women are inadequate. There are a pool of knuckleheads and undesirable men. There are a pool of knucklehead and undesirable women. I don't want to say that that's the majority of us. I can't say that that's the majority of us. I do think the number of those people are growing. So that's why we need to do something drastically right now. So it's understanding what's really going on. I like this comment by Iliam Lofton. Most of us don't see what's going on. The war is in our face, and most of us have no idea what's going on. Yeah, you're right, Brian. They do things to undermine our self-esteem, but one of the problems is we internalize that stuff when we reinforce the self-esteem, whether internally or externally to each other. So you're right. It's all about powerful. It's all about power. In a powerful community, there wouldn't be a racist radio host in the first place. There you go. We got to get right. We got to get right. She said, what'd you say? She says that about the dominant group. She's getting fired. She might do. I wouldn't say majority. Either it's a lot or the. I do think I don't think the majority of black women exist like that, but that's why we're doing this show, because I think that's part of the false narratives that's being pushed out. Oh, thank you, Rocksteady. Dr. Noka Rocksteady. Thank you for tuning in. I think that's once again why we're doing this show. That's a part of the propaganda. That's a part of the false and negative messaging. They're making it seem like because I believe that there's, especially for both men and women, but talking right now with about, I think it's a loud minority of women, but I do think that number is growing, but I think it's a loud minority of women that's being pushed out there. And because the narrative is so loud and it's so negative and it's so compelling for the white man, that they're going to continue to push those false narratives even further and further and further. They want to get those people who get the light, because remember, like when I was growing up, I'm 41 now. So when I was growing up, black women who acted a fool in public were not put on TV and put the camera in front of them and romanticized. Now, like we got to show like the baddies and all that stuff where they are promoting degenerate behavior from black women. They're promoting degenerate behavior from black men. Think about the black men who are being pushed today, like the very effeminate, weak black men who street culture. You know what I'm saying? Cats who can't even put together a full sentence. They're the ones being romanticized, pushed out there. The Pookies and Ray Rays, what we call them, the Keishas, the Pookies and Ray Rays. They're taking the worst of us and pushing it out there and romanticizing it. And like, this is what black culture is. Like, you know, we've done Friday breakdowns on it, pushing back against the narrative that if you're not from the streets, that's not authentic black culture. It pisses me off, especially when I see people who not from the hood. I'm from the hood. Nah, that's not where you want to be. It's not where you want to be, right? Because we haven't made it better. But people romanticize the worst parts of our community and they want to emulate that. I saw a video the other day. It was a video that was going viral through social media where the young lady was talking about, she hated that her family, her mom and her dad were married and had a healthy relationship. They had a prosperous life. They lived a good life, a two-parent household. She prayed for her mother and her father to break up because she wanted to live in a single mother household like the people she went to school with. She wanted to eat hot Cheetos and wear Jordans like the people who grew up in poverty or grew up with no father directly in the house, or maybe no father in their life. She wanted her family to break up so she could be like that. Insane. My parents divorced when I was 5. I wish they could have stayed together. You know what I'm saying? They happened, but insane. But stuff like that is pushed out there. But where did she get that from? That stuff was romanticized. She see it in real life, but then when you go watch TV, you go see it on social media. It's pushed. It's romanticized. It's like black dysfunction is supposed to be the norm. No, black man, you're not supposed to admire and love the black woman. No, black woman, you're not supposed to admire and love the black man. That video happened. I was trying to find it, but that was crazy. I looked at that video a couple of times, like, that young lady is crazy. And she had a baby laying on her chest, and it's like, and she was like, now I'm older, now I see. But it's like, when I was young, man, look, I always, like, my parents, even though my parents were not together, my parents did their best to convey the importance of family around, you know. So there's always a black collaborator ready to show a live face to the stereotype. You're right. You're right. So many people sign up to tap dance. It says, those images in media, when I watch a film, my mind always catches it. You got to. I remember I started really paying attention to the movies and stuff, you know, back in the day when I was on the come up. I was watching those Phil Valentine and those Bobby Hemmett videos, and they used to tell you to go to the movies with a pen and pad, pay attention to write stuff down and take notes and stuff. So that's what really made me start looking at movies a bit different. Are you talking about Trailer Trash Pookies? Yeah. Nah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, they take the worst of us and they put them out there. So my daughter wanted to live in the so-called hood when she was growing up. My wife and I refused to raise our kids in that environment. Definitely do a breakdown on that. Yeah, look, man, I remember, thank you, Terrell, for the comment. I remember some of the ladies I used to work with. These ladies work hard to put themselves in a position to take care of their families, and they would come and tell me, like, Joe, can't believe my daughter want me to move in the hood. My daughter want to live in the hood. Man, go find the nearest projects and drop off. And speed off. Nah, but it's the idea that living in poverty is what you're supposed to do. That's authentic blackness. That's fun. It's fun. So it's crazy. You said, brother, I experienced it firsthand. I know what you're saying. It's a negative subconscious behavior that is triggered by words and actions. You're right, man. Look, like the music and stuff. I remember being in the fourth grade, listening to Snoop Dogg, Doggy Style, going around calling everybody tricks and stuff. But also not understanding the programming, like, it was negatively programming me to see our own women, as black women, in a negative light. He says, Nicki Minaj at the Trump rally, that to me was the most recent incident of community betrayal for personal gain. Well, Nicki Minaj, I say it like this. Athletes, celebrities, entertainers, I don't see them as authentically a part of our community. I see them as, for the majority, I'm not going to say 100%, for the majority of athletes, celebrities, entertainers, all of them, I see them as compromised people who may look like us but don't represent us. They may sound like us, but they don't represent us. They may have come from our communities, but they don't represent us anymore because they are compromised people who are part of a system that is against us, and they're not going to give up their money to make sure we good. So there you go. Nicki Minaj is not one of us. It says the baseball games, the basketball games, the football games. Sometimes you can take our people out of the hood, but you can't take the hood out of the people. There you go. Ice Cube said distinctly that the same people who own the record companies own the prisons. There you go. There you go. Nicki Minaj arrived as an undocumented immigrant from Trinidad and Tobago. Anyhow, I mean, look, man. Also, you just saying that made me think. Look at a lot of these platforms. These dating shows and stuff like a lot of these platforms that are supposed to be black, the Shade Room, media takeout, all these different platforms. When they really start to ratchet up and show the debauchery, we find out that these platforms not even owned by like black American people. They are owned by black people who are of the diaspora, but they're not black American people who don't have our best interests at hand. And they can't because they're showing the negativity. Now, I'm not saying that to throw gas on the diaspora war, but I'm talking about the individuals, those individuals who are non-FBA, who sign up to show the worst of us and that sign up to romanticize the worst of us. So, since I don't know anyone who thinks like that, I don't I lived in the suburbs and them folks broke in my home, stole, scratched my new car. White ain't right just cause. Hey, look, you ain't telling me. You ain't telling me. Look, white people have their nature is violence. Their nature is violence. Right? BuzzFeed has a media brand geared towards African Americans, and that's owned by European. Look, man, a lot of these platforms are geared toward, like you're saying, geared toward making sure that black people don't exist around each other in a healthy manner. Black people don't get along. They can't afford for us to get along. They need to have us at each other's neck. They need to have each other. They need to have us hating each other, even to the point to where some of us, a group of us may want a small group of us may want a large group of us took out, like taken out the face of this earth. Let me read this. It's talking about the new X transparency feature. In late 2025, which we're in now, the platform formerly known as Twitter rolled out a feature that shows where accounts are purportedly based. It was intended to increase transparency and help users evaluate potential bots or coordinated influence accounts by revealing the country or region associated with account creation and activity. However, the feature's accuracy has been questioned because many accounts can use VPNs and spoof locations. We know that. It was briefly halted, modified due to accuracy concerns. Why this matters for the gender war narrative? So once the location info was visible, prominent political or cultural war-oriented accounts like some MAGA or nationalist pages appeared to be run from outside the U.S., such as Eastern Europe, Pakistan, India, or other foreign regions, and even if they portrayed themselves as domestic political influences. This unveiled why many in digital culture now call astroturfing accounts that look like grassroots domestic voices, but are actually coordinated influence operations from abroad or by network pushing specific narratives. We don't control enough of the media. We don't control social media. Somebody said earlier, just me. I forget the social media comment earlier. When black social media is created, black people don't support it. When black social media is created, black people don't support it. We do need our own social media. We do need our own internet, all that stuff. We need our own. We need to be able to control as much of what happens in our life as possible. It says our entertainers, athletes come from a survival mode environment. It's really not their fault. Master's the only one feeding them right now. Master knows we can't. Right. But they got to make a choice though. They have to make a choice. And if that's the choice that they make, then we got to make a choice too. I feel I do. Ilium, I understand. I'm with you. I understand. I don't disagree. I'm just saying they have to make a choice and we have to make a choice as well. It said a lot of entertainers are unseen hands of white supremacy at work. Dr. Neely Fuller said, if you don't understand white supremacy, everything else will confuse you. You already know it. That brand is called Cocoa Butter Not. Just looked up. Has a channel on YouTube. Yeah, I know about the Cocoa Butter channel. Yeah, you said 1 million subscribers. That channel has a lot. Now, so I want to get into this next video. So we covered this on our Friday breakdown, what they call the KK Keisha, and it came from the Shay Sade channel where you had the black women petitioning to the white man to take black men out. Now, I think this goes well with this because is this a result of the engineering, or is this another product of the bots and stuff pushing these narratives? And we're about to get into it. So this is the from the Ask a Brother podcast. Shout out to Brother Jeff St. James, and shout out to the Daily Wrap Up crew, because this was Brother Jeff St. James as a guest on the Daily Wrap Up crew, and they were covering the KK Keisha situation. So. And remember, I'm start by saying this. I don't believe that the majority of black women think like this, but I do think that there is a loud minority or strong minority who think like this. We know the divestors exist. We know they do. Please hit that like button. Please hit that like button. We cooking tonight. Black love is a revolutionary act. Healthy black families is a revolutionary act. Let's be revolutionary.
This one, it's went underneath my radar. I didn't even know this video was out there, man. Mm-hmm. It's a very similar video to something that we talked about in the past. I think he even got the same Clubhouse aesthetic, or maybe it was on Clubhouse, Twitter Spaces. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
that's what the conversation is happening. That's what they meeting up.
Yeah, clearly, man. We're gonna play the video. It's a very disturbing video. We're gonna play the video. We're gonna come back and give our thoughts on it.
So what are the corrections that you're looking for specifically?
Force, because that's the only thing that's gonna work.
But I mean, what are you looking for black men to arrive at? A place of understanding of like, what do you want to see?
Well, we believe that there is no hope for them. That we don't believe in changing their minds. We don't. But I'm trying not to say what I really want to say because you're on stage. But if they could not exist, hey, we wouldn't be mad at.
I think for me, I want the coddling culture to kind of stop. I think they get validated a little bit too much and they're not held accountable as much as white men, Hispanic men, Asian men. Like the legal system works in their benefit a little bit more than they think it does. They're seen as the ultimate, like most oppressed. And I think that coddling culture needs to stop and they need to be held accountable for their actions.
Because we live in white male patriarchy, white men set what's socially acceptable. So with you all setting what's socially acceptable, the degenerate behavior.
Drew, what's your thoughts on this?
Honestly, before, we started doing pod, I don't think I've heard women speak like this about like black men, and I know there's been like domestic relationships where men and women beat each other and primarily men are noticed for it, you know what I mean? But this hatred of, they would say self-delete or abortions or other, criminal aspects of, hurting each other. But I, still to this day, I haven't heard a man and I hear black men frequently say how much we need black women, how much we love black women. But on the other end, I just keep hearing black women say things like these women. And they're so comfortable saying it. And then they try to flip it on us with manipulation tactics or whatever the case may be. And I just don't see the same hatred coming from men. Imagine if you heard, if you did see something, send it to us. Let us react to that and let us hold that man accountable. But while we're watching this, let's hold these women accountable for saying what the fuck they're saying. You have black sons, you have black brothers, you have a black father, 9 times out of 10, you know what I'm saying? So where's this? And I think it's all built on trauma that they get from their mama or another woman, because a lot of women don't experience this hate, these things that the next woman hate a black man for. And I just want to know, where does it really stem from? You know what I'm saying? I truly don't understand. Like, I be trying to like, this is the reason. But the more I hear it, I really don't know. And I'm not saying that there's not some, bad black men out there, but I don't hear these other groups of women talking about their men like this, whether it's on a public platform, because y'all yes girling and kikiing and TTing and all these other shit every time a black woman say something like this. And then when a black man replies, we're in our feelings, immature, weak, whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? So those are my thoughts.
Again, this reminds me of another video that we had reacted to before. Mm-hmm. And it's very similar concept. And I think it was a white woman, black woman's appreciation for white men, like type of clubhouse. And in there, it was just like, black men belong in a coffin and black men deserve to die. And, our mothers should have, been left a black man. And it was such a...
There's no turning back because these dusties are dusty. They just belong in a coffin. I agree.
Ladies, I'm so happy that we loving white men because they are the most sweetest, wonderful men. And you know what's so sad? Our mothers should have left the black men a long time ago.
I feel safe now that the Dusties are in the gulags. When I look at the title, white men are better for black women.
It's just so horrible just to hear it. And then you think about the Cynthia G's and her having live call-in shows with other black women calling in saying maybe we should abort black male fetuses.
And the only reason I support aborting a black child when it comes to it being male is because when I look at the black community and the problems in it, it's associated with males and male pathology. When you talk about violence, it's associated with the males. When you talk about the women being forced upon, it's the males. When you talk about drugs, it's the males. When you talk about the fatherless children, it's the males. Every single problem that is happening in the black community, you point to the males and then you have the culprit. So for me, I think that not selectively breeding is very irresponsible when you are the only one who has control over who gets to earth. Your womb, it carries the person to earth. So if you're the only one with that power, regardless of whatever he wants.
Like you said, I haven't heard on the opposite end black men saying anything as harmful or as hateful as the type of rhetoric I'm hearing from black women. And this could all just be the CIA, you know what I mean? Just manipulating with us and stuff like that, because these are people hiding behind a profile.
You thinking they bots?
I don't put it past, you know what I mean? Like I don't put it past them. This could just be another, like you talk about COINTELPRO and stuff like that. This could just be another version of that. Like, trying to manufacture these gender wars to keep us separated, to keep us from coming together and then separate us even further. Like, you know what I mean? So I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of this stuff is fabricated. But still, when I do hear this stuff, I do want to bring awareness to it because these conversations are happening, whether it's organic or manufactured. And again, I'm not seeing that same hatred. And again, if y'all find those clips, like you said, send it to us, because I'm a woman has sent me a video of a man being very critical of black women, and she was like, "Oh, see, black men hate." That's their version of we hate women is us being critical of them. You know what I mean? And their version of us hating us is them wanting to actively harm us. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I know, Jeff, we talked about even abortions, and we was talking about from 1970 to present day, the amount of abortions that we had in the black community alone is, I was saying from 18 to 20, like 24 million, and you were saying it could be past 30 million plus. And when you think about that number, that's literally a genocide of black children, fetuses being unborn. Like, you know what I mean? We talk about the Holocaust, slavery, things that we associate as a very inhumane act, and we don't even realize, like, there's a whole genocide in our own backyard that we just dismiss. And now we even to the point where we're trying to vote to keep those type of we're trying to vote to keep genocide within our community. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's the whole purpose of us wanting to vote for abortion laws. And it's like, why are we voting for abortion laws when we could just get to the root cause, you know what I mean, of the issue, instead of going to the most extreme? And you're not even, women, from what I've been, the studies that I have read, like, abortion isn't being used as a medical procedure, like, you know what I'm saying? Or, you got, raped by whatever the case is. This is just because you wanted to be sexually liberated. You wasn't responsible. And now this is your get out of jail card for not being responsible. Like, you know what I'm saying? So we can't, listen, I could just go on a whole monologue about that. But it was very disheartening to hear this conversation. Jeff, what's your thoughts?
When Tommy Sotomayor was on my show last week, he had made a comment that I think a lot of people in a couple channels got a little upset and angry with him about how many black women were being used as tools and were right-hand mans of white supremacy. And between the bullet bag comments, the gender-based abortions if you're having a male child, this isn't going to make sense to people unless you look at it through the lens as this. There are white, liberal, extreme feminists that are anti-black and are racist, that are female supremacists, that our black women see as allies and vote just alike. So until we come to grips with that these women exist They are not little. And sometimes the attitude and the disrespect and the vitriol and the hatred, there's a spectrum. You got it where it's just talking back. You got it too, they don't respect your authority. So you have these extreme cases and examples where they say, I can't wait for them to be the next George Floyd. We ain't protesting this time. Regardless of where they are on the spectrum, they're getting their marching orders from white, liberal women that are female supremacists and are misandrous, and they hate Black men and men, period. So just to clarify, if you're a Black man, and as I've said earlier, and I will always continue to say, those statements aren't coming out of a vacuum. This ideology isn't coming out of a vacuum. There are people that are women are listening to that's causing and creating much of the divide that we're talking about. And they're supporting them, they're working together, they're looking out for each other. And then when it comes to politics, they vote in alignment. So when you are a Black man, still in 2025, thinking that the women who think this way and whose minds are captured you are on the same team with them, you are not. You are not. And you should know it every time something comes up that involves a man or a woman. What's the women that vote that way? Who do they side with? Who's always the victim? Who's innocent until proven guilty? Is it we gotta wait to the evidence, or is it believe all women? Which by default means disbelieve all men.
So I'm gonna stop that right there with what he's saying. So if we add in what they're saying, so the influence of racist white women who support the system of white supremacy, who would stop at nothing to see Black people as destitute as possible, as well as the social media barrage of fakeness that's pushing these false narratives. Just more examples of how Black love is under attack, how Black families are under attack, how Black upward progress, forward movement is under attack. They don't want us to be together in a healthy manner. They don't want to see us happy together. But remember, we have to start from ground zero. We have to learn how to coexist in a healthy manner. We were forced to be together, and then they warred on us. They warred on us in any fashion, in a way that they could think possible. Any type of healthy Black family unit that exists is a revolutionary act, because that's not supposed to exist. That's not supposed to be what's happening. That's not supposed to be the norm. The norm is supposed to be Black dysfunction. They want us to be against each other in every manner. They want more Black women with messages like that. I don't know. I know the Cynthia G lady is real, but some of those other accounts, some of them could be real, some of them might not be real. But I think that I would say that the rhetoric of those women are either the result of the programming of that group of women buying into the program. Either it's the result of that, or it's the bots at work, it's the fake accounts at work. Well, we know Cynthia G is real. She different. She crazy. She crazy as hell. But it's like, Black men, we need each other. Black women, we need each other. Do we have issues? Yes. Do we have crazies on both sides? Do we have crazy ass Black men that's destructive and not gonna get it together? Yes. Do we have crazy ass Black women who are destructive and not gonna get it together? Yes. I could be wrong, but I don't believe that that's the majority of us. But I do believe that the majority of us is affected by the negative narratives and the negative messages that are put out, the negative stereotypes that elevate the debaucherous people in our community. Those people are elevated. Those people are propped up to say, this is how Black people are supposed to exist. This is what authentic Blackness is. And if you don't act like this, then you're not Black. That's how you get the kids talking about they mad that their parents are successful and don't live in the hood. But they won't give up none of their amenities to go live in the hood. They just want the appeal of the hood, meaning they don't get it. Man, we got a lot of work to do. We got to start, and it starts with us, right? Nobody's going to fix our problems for us. All other groups and all other people are going to throw as much gas on the fire as possible. Anything that they can do to make sure that they win and they come out on top, they're going to do that. Racism is a team sport. The system of white supremacy is designed to destroy anything that challenges it, to subordinate anything, any other system, any other group of people. It has to be subordinate to the system of white supremacy. So how long are we going to choose to be on the bottom? Media, there you go, Will Justice. Media is mind control. Malcolm X told us that. We got to take our minds back, take our spirits back, take our families back. We got to be better. That's why this is a continuous thing that we do for ourselves as individuals and ourselves as a group on a regular basis. That's why I'm always talking about every day, what are you doing to be a better black person every day? If you're a black woman, what are you doing to be a better black woman? If you're a black man, what are you doing to be a better black man? How much of the negativity are you able to cut out of your life? How much of the negative people are you able to cut out of your life? We got to be better. We got to get better. We got to be able to hold each other accountable. We got to be able to criticize each other, constructive criticism. Everything we do needs to be, everything we do need to be in a constructive manner to make sure we're better. We got a lot of stuff to combat. They are controlling the narratives, but we can't allow that. We can't keep falling for the okie doke. I think Renee said it earlier. They've been using the same tricks for 500 years. So it's an old peck. That's what Grange saying, being hen pecked. We got to get better, man. Black men, hey, there's a deficit of black masculinity. We got to get it right. I'm a black man, so I'm saying that. We got this deficit of black masculinity. Black women, y'all got to get y'all stuff together too. And we got to get together and be together and learn how to love each other in a healthy manner. We got to control our own lives, control our own narratives, control our own resources, control our own communities. Hey, we got to start with controlling ourselves and our kids. A lot of us not even controlling ourselves properly. And that's a part of the problem. Other groups of people want to see us in destitute positions. Other groups of people, they love that Black America is not unified. They love that because we ain't no competition to them. And they can continue to siphon from us, steal our culture, steal our habits, all these different things. Talk about us, talk down on us, shit on us, step on us. What are we going to do about it? We going to sit around and keep complaining about it? Or we going to take your ass, get your ass up in the morning and decide to be better? That's what we got to do. I got to do that. Everybody got to do that. We got to get our ass up in the morning, decide to be better. When you take your ass to sleep at night, decide to be better. That's what we got to do. Yeah, yes. So much of the entertainment that's out. And Will, you mentioned Tubi. It's crazy. You know the programming works. You know the programming is deep and it works when Black people get a chance to make their own movies, and all the stuff we make is negative stuff. Even the movies we make about ourselves is negative. Tyler Perry, negative. Everything is negative. When the hell we gonna get right? But it starts with us. The adults got to be better. Our children need better examples. Adults have to be better. We got to be better. If the adults don't be better, damn it, stop complaining about the kids. They're not going to be better. Why would they be better if the adults ain't better? We got to set the example. Understand what's going on and what's happening to us. We either going to win as a team on our feet, or we going to lose disunited on our knees. What we going to do? Don't believe the lies that you see. Don't believe all the narratives. Don't believe all the stories that you see. Don't believe all the stuff you hear about our counterparts. If you're a Black woman, don't believe everything you hear about Black men. If you're a Black man, don't believe everything you hear about Black women. The system is designed. Remember, we're not talking about individuals. We're talking about a whole system. The system is designed to keep us fucked up, insane and crazy. Got to get right, man. I appreciate y'all for showing up tonight, man. I appreciate everybody showing up. I appreciate all the comments. I appreciate the love. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Want to make sure the likes match the views. I'm going live again Saturday. Of course, you know, Saturday, OTSOG Saturday Live is happening. Saturday at 3:30, I'm going live again. So next week, you're going to get me on Tuesday and Wednesday. I'm going live New Year's Eve. We doing New Year's Eve. Something black, something good for the black folk. We might watch a movie or something. I don't know. We're gonna figure out what we're gonna do, but Saturday 3:30, I'm live here. Next Tuesday 9 p.m. I'm live here, and New Year's Eve I'm gonna figure out the time. But New Year's Eve we're going live. Terrell, man, I appreciate you. I appreciate you definitely because you part of this family, being a channel member. You could become a channel member too. You could become a member of this channel. You can support this channel in many ways. So as a black woman, I think that is white supremacy talking points trying to keep black people separated. Please don't fall for that. And if it means anything, I believe that our black men are kings. There you go. There you go, Miss Brenda Evans. Yeah, we can't fall for the okie doke. We can't fall for it. We need each other. We need each other. I know we have strife, we have scars, but we can, us black men, we can heal the scars, help black women heal their scars, and black women they can help us heal our scars, and we can heal together. We need each other. We need each other. We need each other. We need each other. Salute to all of you all. I love you all. I appreciate y'all. I'm gonna continue to do what I do, and y'all continue to do what you do. Remember, go to bed tonight being your best, and wake up in the morning being your best. Y'all have a happy holiday. Y'all enjoy y'all family. Be constructive, be positive. Every day you go out being constructive and being positive, getting around the negative, shaking off the negative, shaking off the hate, and loving each other in real life. Loving each other in real life. Hey, I'll see y'all on Saturday, man. I love y'all. Renee, Luke, Mon, everybody. I appreciate y'all. I really appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Black people, let's love each other. Let's love each other better. Peace out. Y'all have a good night. See y'all on Saturday.